Cycle of Human Creation. By Raid Curry. https://rkgraphics.wixsite.com/awakeningthedivine. Let me attempt a three-dimensional explanation of the natural cycle of the human spirit and of the universal mind, God, as part of this cycle. I say three-dimensional because God is in all dimensions, all at once and infinite. I would be remiss to not confess my limitation and lacking in physical language with this explanation, so I leave it up to you, the reader, to use your imagination and fill in the gaps of the parts that I may have oversimplified. Also, I refer to the universal mind as it instead of he or she for the sake of simplicity. Again, you can fill in your words where you see fit. As the name implies, it is a cycle, and as such it has no beginning and no ending. It serves a purpose for the universal mind as a self-perpetuating development of the mind. Let us start at the top of the cycle. Here is where the universal mind is in its element, creating worlds and galaxies throughout the known and unknown omniverse. Now, as part of the urge to learn and grow, the universal mind must intermingle with its creation. So, it has created an ingenious way to be born. During the process of copulation between a man and a woman, the sperm will fertilize the egg, and through the process of meiosis, the cells in the egg will begin to multiply. There and then, a part of the universal mind will be born. The process of conception is the actual moment of life, because there is intelligence in each cell and its duplication. Now, 9 months later a child is born. During that 9 months there wasn't only a physical baby forming, there was also a spiritual counterpart forming. As the baby takes shape, so too does the spirit of that child. The mind is also part of that combination, intermingling in every cell and every DNA of every cell. The mind of that child is now one of 3 counterparts that is needed for any human being to live. The mind, the spirit, and the body. You need all 3 to be able to live a healthy, well-balanced life here on earth. The body cannot survive without the other 2 components. Now, as the process continues, the newly born child will have grown and learned and experienced life as any normal child, and so too has a part of the universal mind that was a part of that child's birth. In addition, the spirit of that child will record every emotion and thought ever felt since its birth. The spirit never forgets and will, when the time comes, take all of those memories to the spirit world after that child dies when it gets older. All the love and hate that it experienced while on earth. Not to get ahead of myself. The child will live out a normal life on earth, all the while getting older and wiser. He will have children of his own and help perpetuate mankind and his creator. Then he will get older and live out the rest of his life until he dies. Now his loved ones would mourn him and bury him, but that will not be the end of the road for him. In actuality, that would be the beginning of a whole new life. He will be automatically attracted to one of the 7 levels of the spirit world. Depending on his actions and deeds and life on earth, the vibration of his spirit and aura would have registered it and become like a magnet to one of the 49 planes in the spirit world with the same rate of vibration as his spirit. Like a magnet can attract metal but not hair, yet a comb with static electricity can attract your hair but not metal. They both have attractive components, but only to the elements of its kind. Now, what is the spirit world, you may ask? What are the 7 levels and their 49 planes? Well, let me explain. The ethereal worlds of the spirit. Level 1. Now let us see what we can see about the world of the spirits. The heavenly world, where the air is ethereal and the atmosphere is astral. First of all, let me explain the skeletal workings of the spirit world. Yes, there is a hierarchy, and it is represented in levels and planes. There are 7 levels with 7 planes in each level. That makes 49 planes total. Level 1 being the lowest vibration to level 7 being the highest. It starts with the lowest vibrational level 1, plane 1, which is not surprisingly very close to the Earth's surface. Then there is level 1, plane 2. Every higher plane is in a vibration that is a little higher than the plane below. As you would guess, the planes of the lowest have very little or no light. Darkness is their game. If you had to have a place for hell, this would be it. This place is full of souls that are in torment, deceit, lust, greed, selfishness, self-loathing and hatred. All emotions that come from fear. You cannot trust any soul that resides in the first 7 planes. Those that commit suicide usually will go in one of the 7 planes on level 1. Although those souls may have been kind, gentle or unselfish, the act of taking one's own life that is not our own, but gifted to us by the grace of God, is enough to make their souls look like a pile of melted jelly. In this confused state, the spirit of the one who committed suicide will not have any form. Their thoughts are so wrapped up in their own sorrow that they don't realize their own surroundings and are in a coma-like state. Those kind of souls will be attended to, as soon as they pass over, because they cannot even help themselves. The spirit doctors and nurses will apply healing to them and attempt to wake them from their self-imposed coma, enough so they can be aware of where they are and what they have done. The awakening will be a major revelation to them because they thought that they were getting away from their problems when in fact they were making their problems even harder to solve. They will still have to finish their task of what they came here to do, only it will be in a spirit form, making it 100 times harder to convince those they love to forgive them or that they still love them. Imagine the torture and hell they will be going through when they realize that their one selfish act is the cause of so much pain and hardship to him and his loved ones. This alone will keep him in a low level for a very long time. It does not take too much imagination to come up with more reasons that someone might end up on the lower planes, and unfortunately those planes are overpopulated by too many spirits with bad intentions. Level 2. Now we go on to Level 2, Plane 1. This level is a lot lighter in vibration, so there is light that shines here. Anyone in this Level 2 has a good soul, but might need some help shedding off the earthly desires and habits that were acquired on earth, like kicking a smoking habit or feelings of wanting to eat food. Things we take for granted while still living on earth. Souls that reside here still have some work to do on their own feelings, and they do it by helping other souls on the lower planes or by helping those in need on earth. Souls on these 7 planes will need help from spirit guides and higher levels. They still need to learn mental telepathy and how to mentally create their environment. The world here is very pleasant. In fact, it looks a lot like a rural setting on Earth. As you would guess, those that are in Level 2 still need the familiar settings and places that they are used to on Earth, and those places find their way in their surroundings. The beautiful snow-capped mountains. The vast rolling hills of green grass moving slowly from the warm gentle breeze. All of the memories they once had, they can learn to generate on this level. Level 3. Moving on now to Level 3. Once a spirit has slowly released themselves from the earthly desires, they will find themselves in Level 3. This level is full of spirits with true conviction and sincerity. There will be some world leaders that had some influence on their people. There would be housewives that spent all their life with true sacrifice for their family, taking care of their husband and children, but not knowing how or forgetting to take care of themselves. Souls in this level are loving and willing to help others, but they lack the courage to help themselves to spiritually develop. They may have a closed mind towards mental growth, but are willing to learn with hesitation. As they slowly open their minds, they will rise to a higher and higher plane. They are not afraid to act in the best interest of the whole, but can fall short in giving themselves the unconditional love they so freely give to others. This Level 2 has beautiful mountain ranges, and the sun shines brighter and everlasting. There is also wondrous sounds and music in the air that heightens the vibrations. They do have curiosity, but they do not act on it for fear of what others might think of them. Once they overcome their fear of self-development, they will reach Level 4.
Level 4 is truly a special level. There is a magic there that attracts those with strong curiosity and a fearless convictions. Imagine yourself on Level 4 Plane 1, where you will find a door. This door has bright white light streaking from the small openings of the hinges. You go and slowly open it, and a beautiful white light envelopes and encompasses you, making you feel so young and alive. In fact, this world is the world of eternal youth. If you had the appearance of old age in the other lower levels, you will shed all of those wrinkles into a new you. Your mind will still be wise and experienced, but your looks will have changed to how you used to look when you were 23 years old or younger. In addition, if you are fortunate enough to reach this level, you will notice other souls floating and flying about like birds. They are so light and happy that they can fly. In fact, flying will be one of many fantastic things you can do on this level. You can think of an image in your mind and it will magically appear. Maybe you want to ride a bike or drive a car, you use your imagination and it slowly begins to form right in front of your eyes. One thing you will not find on this level is tradition or people with dogmatic religious beliefs. Anyone who was stuck on tradition means they were stuck and unable to change. Their mindset would be closed and unyielding. Level 4 is free of those kinds of thinking. People on Level 4 would be uninhibited and with an open mind, ready to learn new things and ways of life never thought of before on Earth. People on this level are those with true and pure convictions. Scientists and inventors. This level is the cornerstone for the next 3 higher levels that will break all ties and limiting thoughts that were stopping your spirit from moving on. Even if you were a dedicated priest, helping others, if you had deep-seated traditions that were unyielding to change, it would be a great inhibitor and you would be unable to transition to a higher level. Level 5. Now we have reached Level 5. If you have reached this level, you are truly a pure and honest person with strong curiosity and a loving attitude. To be in these 7 planes, you must have accomplished much in the other lower levels that had helped those spirits or physical beings on Earth. In addition, you will have to had lived on Earth yourself with a life that was unselfish and loving to the end. Albert Einstein comes to mind. He was a loving man and he did much to advance mankind in the scientific realm. You must also have been a spiritual person with an open mind capable to tap into a higher knowledge and inspiration. Spirits on level 5 are very busy. They are busy serving the universal mind and being as conduits to lower planes or people on Earth from God. Because of their advanced knowledge, they can be a source for many inspirations that human beings receive during prayer or meditation. In addition, spirits on level 5 may slowly begin to lose their appearance. They will be slowly transforming more and more into a universal vibration meshing into the higher godly vibration until they have no form at all. Usually, those that are in level 5 find little resistance to advance into the next level of 6. They learn faster and they master the technique of mental communication. They know how to mentally control their environment to their liking. They also have insatiable curiosity that propels them even further with their influence on the lower level spirits to help them advance. I would say that one of the only inhibiting factors that level 5 spirits have is their getting used to not having a physical shape and letting go of it. Level 6. Now we go to level 6. This level is truly a grand and beautiful heaven. With all of your imagination of heaven and what it should be like, this is it and more. Where do you think all of the good ideas and inventions come from? Yes, they were thought of here and created here first. Every thought you have is already planned and predicted before you were born. Well, to a certain extent. We all do have the gift of free will, so God can't completely 100% know what we will think, say, or do to the last minute, but He can get pretty close. So you see, before we were born, we made out a blueprint of our life. We chose our parents in cooperation, of course. We chose our livelihood and environment in concert to what we are sent to learn in that lifetime. If, for example, we are meant to learn kindness and charity, we would be sent to a poor part of town in order to appreciate that lifestyle and be more compassionate and understanding to people that are less fortunate. So then when we die, we will have learned through hardship of our own what it is like to live a life of deprivation and want. Sure, that would be a hard lesson to learn, but it would be a very rewarding lesson to our soul because that lesson comes with hard work and achievement. Sort of like when a coal is converted into a diamond, it has to be compressed so tight and so long before the crystals begin to take shape. So level 6 is like the place where you would go to a university. Your studies would be to achieve a master's and a PhD in the subject of life before you can graduate to level 7. Your passion would be spiritual development and enlightenment in order to achieve total oneness of the universal mind. Your ultimate goal is to be totally intermingled with the universal vibration of God in order to know the feeling of omnipotence. In addition, you are a teacher for the souls in lower levels. As your students raise their vibration and gain spiritual development, your spiritual vibration will also raise and you can be that much closer to total oneness. It is like a chain reaction. When you help a lower level spirit, they will help someone lower than them and so on and a positive vibration will be multiplied 1,000-fold. Level 7. You have arrived. Yes, here is where you will have total mastery. Here is where the whole universe is open to you and in you and ISU. Now, you are the universal mind and as the name implies, there is no limit to you and your creativity. You can create whole worlds and galaxies because you will be intermingling as part of a whole. Your individuality is no more. You are now part of the big picture as the creator of that picture. You are now omnipotent and omniscient. You are an overlord. You can have many experiences all at the same time. A part of you can experience physical life in many forms intermingling in a human being, man, woman or child. You can be a little fish in a big ocean or a big polar bear in the Arctic. You can feel the emotions of the ocean and the earth because you can communicate with them all. You are not limited to just the planet Earth either, in fact you can visit any planet in the known and the unknown universe. You can communicate with life in many different dimensions. You know their thoughts because you are made of thought. You are mind and the mind is the foundation of all life, physical, spiritual and mental. Therefore, you are God. Anywhere in the universe you prick a needle, you will say ouch. Because you are everywhere at the same time. Copyright 2022. Copyright Raid Curry. All rights reserved. No part of this site may be reproduced, in whole or in part without permission.